Hi, my name is Glenn, and this woman right here is my wife. She's beautiful, charming, and lovely. Where I come from, it is often difficult to marry from her tribe, but here we are. Love may be possible.
Hi, I'm Renette. This is my husband, Glenn. Patient, tolerant, and loving. We hope our intertribal marriage story inspires you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our YouTube channel. We are super duper glad to do this again and again. That's because you have been playing your part so well. From our last two videos, the love you've shown us, the commitment has been overwhelming. We cannot thank you enough. We have viewers coming from so many different parts of the world.
We have an active community
in Nigeria,
in Kenya,
we have in the USA, in the UK,
in Dubai,
in Germany too.
Yeah,
and of course we
Cameroon.
cannot forget our base, Cameroon. You guys are the real MVP. A million thanks for all the love.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the comments, for the likes, for those
shares.
For those who've been actively sharing our videos. We say thank you guys so much.
And
I think Abby is probably saying thank you too.
Yeah, he's saying thank you in his own language. So you have your guest of honor. If he doesn't collaborate, he might just leave the set anytime soon. So
we hope he stays collaborative so we can have this together.
So today we want to actually talk about something really crucial. This video is actually dear to us. It's very close to our hearts because we want to talk about something crucial in the society, that of intertribal marriage, which is something that both of us depict typically. And isn't it amazing that you and I, baby, are from two regions that actually potentially hold the flag for the two national meals of the country.
I mean, when somebody comes to Cameroon, right? Yeah. One of the major things they always look out for is to taste Cameroonian food. And I think if you have to talk about food, the food culture in Cameroon, you would not go without talking about achu and Ero,
of course,
which I represent the Achu flag.
And I represent the Ero flag. He's from the Northwest region. My husband is from the Northwest region, and I'm from the South region. More specifically, Ngemba. And
I think Abby will just have to leave. You cannot continue with you like this. Hey.
It's time for Abby to take his leave for now.
It's okay.
Take him,
we can't have you here, please. Bye.
Bye. You have to go.
You have to go.
Fine.
Or if I carry you like this, will you stay quiet?
No, it's fine.
If I carry you, will you stay quiet?
You obstruct the mic. So Abby is gone. Now we can focus on more important things.
I'm telling you, Masa.
The noise and
I couldn't even focus because he was just there and with his babblings.
Yeah.
I have to be thinking, is he interrupting the sound? Is he all right in the image and things like that? And it kind of gets my head out of what we are doing.
He's just a child, so I think children do that a lot.
Yeah,
can't help it. You know, Cameroon is made up of these so many tribes.
I think we have about 250 tribes.
Actually,
yeah, we have. I think that should be the most country in Africa that has a diversity in terms of tribal makeup, in terms of tribal composition. We should be the most diverse in Africa.
And with these plurality in tribes and cultural differences, it is actually sometimes really difficult. Some families find it difficult allowing their children marry outside. You know, there is actually that constraint. They want to withhold what they know. They want to just keep to their traditions and stick to what has been working for them. So the question of intertribal marriage always comes to the table. So before we actually tell you our own experience that we had with marrying intertribally, let's give you a backstory. Those who watched our last video, you must have had a hint that we started dating in 2019. But prior to that, we actually met officially, physically though, in 2016. You remember?
The first time we met physically, was it 2017 or 2016?
2016.
When you came to Bamenda?
Yeah. Okay. I had a wedding to MC in Bamenda in 2016, so that's where we met first. But we've been talking, we've been friends on Facebook.
Yeah, we've been friends on Facebook.
I remember
we've
he
been
used
chatting
to
on
chatting.
Facebook. Yeah.
I remember he used to post a lot about this shop in Bamenda, the candy shop.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Post about their ice cream and their snacks.
I remember very well because I used to work as community manager for a lot of small businesses in Bamenda then, helping them put their businesses on the internet. And so I used to post a lot about candy shop. There was one cool spot that just came in. And
so each time he posted about the place, the ice cream, I was like, Glenn, once I come to Bamenda, you must take me to this place. And he was like, okay, fine. And I used to disturb him a lot.
I was a very nice guy. I was also a graphic designer at that time.
Which you still are.
Which I still, well, I don't do graphics designing so much because I'm completely, Abiola is seriously shouting.
That 2016, when I got to Bamenda, I told him, Glenn, I'm in Bamenda. And he asked me to meet him at Commercial Avenue.
Yeah,
in front
where
of
I used to work
his
at my office
at the time,
back then.
At Extended Limits.
So, shout out to Extended Limits though.
So we met there. I met this tall, slender guy.
I mean, 2016, you were not impressed, right?
I was not impressed. Anyway, I was not looking to be impressed though.
I looked really hungry in 2016.
So hungry. So after I finished emceeing that wedding, we actually met at candy shop. He took me to that famous candy shop that
it's not like I had anywhere else to take you to.
So we had some ice cream, had some drinks. I mean, had some soya. I had some really good soya too.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I spend that much?
You spent.
Wow.
So we just there chit-chatting, catching up, talking about Facebook, friendship.
Yeah. And
that was it.
I mean, at that time, one thing that I really found remarkable about you was the fact that you left Yaoundé. You were hired from Yaoundé to come to Bamenda and MC an event. I was like, wow, this girl she's a boss, yeah?
I'm that great.
She's a boss.
And that was not my first time going to Bamenda to do an event, though.
Yeah, I mean, I found that enterprising thing about you, like you could sell your services such that people in Bamenda would call you to come from Yaoundé, and I was like, man, I like that energy already, that enterprising nature, and I was like, that was the most remarkable thing
Our friendship continued, and fast forward to 2019, you came to Yaoundé.
Yeah. Was it 2018?
No, 2018.
I first came to Yaoundé in 2018. Yeah.
We did some work together.
I had a client who needed a vox pop. He needed me to produce a vox pop on Sauvé, something. Yeah. So I needed a female journalist who could, host what I'm called a vox pop. And she was the first person that came to my mind. So one funny thing, I've never been paid the complete money for that vox pop. Yeah, that guy never paid me all my money. But I had to pre-finance that job just because I don't want you to think that I was one kind of guy.
Right.
So I was like, no. I took the money out of my pocket and I paid her. We did the job. The client was happy.
Moving forward from there, we started working a lot together. And 2019, we had a major work together at a conference. We worked together.
So in 2019, I think by that time
you had fully moved to Yaoundé.
No, I was still transitioning to Yaoundé.
Okay.
And by that time, she recommended me for one of the biggest gigs I'd ever had in my career as a creative professional. And I mean, it was a huge gig.
Yeah.
Like the dollars were in their thousands. The dollars were in their thousands. That's how big it was. Not 1,000, not 2,000, not 3,000. Like the thousands above that. So I felt like, man, this girl is something to think of me. And it's not as if we had a serious relationship.
We were not even dating.
We were not even dating
at that point.
time.
We were just friends.
You just liked the fact that I was one guy that was always serious with what I did, and I used to do a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, so, and of course, when opportunities like that present, the first people I must think of are my friends.
Yeah.
So
she gave me that job, and she recommended me for the job. I eventually landed it, and then I think it was 5 days in Yaoundé Hilton Hotel, and then in the course of executing the work, she came in very handy, and I mean, from then we started. The vibe became different. The vibe. I remember sometimes after
time together.
After work, you'll be like, no, I should give you money. You have to buy me a new shirt. Tomorrow I need to look different. Things that I really didn't care about. I mean, from there, one thing led to another, and
we found ourselves saying "I do" in 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
And here we are. We're married.
Here we are with a very beautiful son that you've seen.
But one thing I should say also is for all this time, I'd never for once thought that maybe I should have a reservation about this girl because her name is Ayok.
Yeah,
because I know where you're coming from.
The question of tribe did not come on the table.
It had never come to my mind. I'd never really looked at you like a Bayangi girl. I'd looked at you more like a woman that I feel would be of vital contribution to the point of my career and my life where I was. Like, this is why I needed a partner, somebody who could support the next stage of my life. And that was exactly where you fitted. It wasn't a question of were you tall, were you short, were you fair.
Which tribe you coming from?
For me, it was about the purpose of a partner at that time. And it was about supporting ambition. And that is exactly where you fell. And I feel like that is exactly what the puzzle of my happiness needed at that time.
But what we are really asking ourselves is, why do so many tribes, really do not want to intermarry?
The first reason that I'll identify as the cause for many tribes not wanting to intermarry is the question of colonialism. Because I think before Africa was colonized, before the scramble for Africa, I mean, a whole tribe was its whole government, it had its whole economy.
But there were still different tribes.
All right? So tribes, they found cases where tribes would be coming together to unite against the white man. And so for them to successfully break through that, they had to divide. And that division has been transmitted from generation to generation, and now children wake up and they hear about certain reasons. They hear about a division between them and other people,
and they decide
that they'll adopt that division. So you find somebody hearing from their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunties that, hey, if you marry woman, you come off of that village, you go this. So you hear stories of witchcraft, you hear stories of fornication, funny practices which is not true, which are just rumors that have been not true in most cases. They are mostly just rumors that have been transmitted over generations, and people just wake up and adopt those. So I think colonialism played a big part in fostering this difficulty for tribes to intermarry. Another reason that I think is a major cause of most tribes not wanting to marry amongst themselves or between themselves is differences in tradition. For example, when I took you to my family, it's not as if they had a problem with you, right? You remember there was even a big party to welcome you and stuff like that. But one of the things that they brought up to me was, in your tribe, according to your tradition, when somebody is no more, when they pass on, their bodies would have to be laid, will be taken back. Their bodies will be taken back
to their village,
to the land
actually
of their father's house. And that's a little tradition which is
not actually sit well with the Ngemba tradition.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with our people, because for us, when you marry a woman, she becomes yours.
Totally and completely.
There's really no need that when she's no more, they come to take her and go back. So
Yeah, I remember even on the night of the payment of my dowry, you remember one of your uncles even asked the question that they really want to be sure as they are taking this woman, they want to really be certain that this tradition that they are hearing about, is it true or not? And my brother...
And also what can they do?
You know, to amend
the
situation. I remember my brother telling them that is a tradition. When this woman is no more, you need to take her remains back to her father's compound. We are not selling our daughter. That's the tradition. We are just giving you to her for some time.
Yeah.
You know, but when she's no more, we expect you to bring the remains back. I remember my brother even saying that these are just traditions made by men. Yeah. And when we get to that point, there is a lot that can actually be adjusted.
Where I come from, when you marry a woman, right, it's like a union of two families.
Yeah.
The marriage goes beyond the bride and the groom. The marriage is there are these new relatives that they call moyos. Mm-hmm. So moyo now is like, if my son marries into your family, I become the moyo of every other uncle and auntie in that family.
So your business becomes
my business. When there's a celebration, we celebrate with
together.
you.
When there is mourning, we
mourn with you. When there's a problem, we figure out solutions together.
Yeah.
We become one family. So and now because why one thing that my grandfather mentioned was if I want to marry into this family, so it's like if his moyos need him, how is he going to move himself from Bamenda and go right to such a distant village? And it makes total sense if you look at it like that. It makes sense because it's not a distance one can do in
to and fro
on the same day. Mm-hmm. You need to look for somewhere to spend the night and things like that, and it becomes a little bit complicated. Mm-hmm. So those inconveniences are just some of the reasons why most families just be like, nah, we think you should look for somebody that's around.
I think one thing that marked me actually, which with this distance thing, when your grandmother, she said something that really marked me.
My grandmom is an absolute angel.
Yeah, she said something. She said, "Man go see fine things so then leave and go because of distance."
Distance now.
It's a listen away to when love day. So see, I mean,
my grandmom could leave the Northwest, and go to the North region just to celebrate with somebody or she believes so much in social. She has a huge social capital,
and she's so welcoming. And that question of distance was just dissolved like that. Each time I'm going to Bamenda, his grandmother will ensure that by the time I alight at the park and get home, I have warm water waiting for me to have my bath and have food. So
she finds it offensive if you don't eat her food. If she offers you food, if you come to her house and you don't eat, you will have a problem with my grandmom. A serious problem.
And the next morning before you wake up, Mopa is already up. Your achu is ready. You have to eat achu.
Yeah. I think this issue of intertribal marriages also has to do with individual preferences. I, for one, I come from the Northwest region. I'm from the Ngemba tribe. I'd never fancied the idea of marrying somebody from there.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'd always felt like I know these people.
You want to try something
my
different?
family know these people, and I just want to go somewhere else. I was thinking maybe a faraway tribe from a different country or something. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's going to give my children the advantage of diversity. Because I always believe that diversity is an advantage. Yeah. The pluralism of language, having multiple languages that you can speak.
And learning different cultures.
Yeah, I mean, as son Abiola, you have to speak Ngemba. You have to speak Jagam. You have to speak French. You have to speak English.
Pidgin.
I mean, that's 4 languages already on his mind.
And
it's going to help him.
He can speak Yoruba.
Yeah, if he likes, because he has a Yoruba name. Well, we're going to talk about why we gave him a Yoruba name in another video, probably around his birthday sometime next year.
Talking about a question of choice on choosing a spouse from whatever tribe, I remember growing up and when I started desiring marriage, I'd never ever desired to marry a man from Bayangi.
Why? Why not?
I don't know. They were not just close to my choice of a husband. I didn't just want to have anything to do with my classmates.
So what was it about Ngemba men then?
Not really Ngemba men. I wasn't looking for a Ngemba man. I just wanted to have a man from the Northwest region. Yeah, and a man whose traditional meal is fufu corn and kati. Because I am still though. I love kati so much, and now I am falling in love with achu too. It's such a delicious meal. So I wanted a man that has a traditional meal because I know that I'll be eating it all the time.
Now that you've mentioned achu, right?
Yeah.
An idea just came to my mind. We have to do a video about achu, presenting the meal.
Teaching me how it is, because I don't really know how
it is serve it well, how it is eaten.
I've always wanted to marry a man from the northwest region, and a dark man. I'd never wanted to marry a fair guy. No. So when we actually started desiring to get married to each other, to me he was a perfect fit. And his line of career, he complemented mine so well. And to me, this was just that man.
Something, I think I told you this before we got married, that for me, I don't want to give marriage advice. This is not marriage advice. We're not marriage counselors, and this is not marriage advice. Yeah. But something that I told my wife before we got married was, for me, the hero in the story of marriage is not love.
Okay.
The hero in the story of marriage is tolerance and compromise. She remembers that so well because I was so hard on it. I'm like, if I say I want to marry you, it's not because you're the perfect person in the whole world. It's because you're the one person that gives me happiness and happiness and stability. And I weigh my happiness against maybe some other traits like your tribe and some other things which really
do not matter,
are not convenient. And I'd be like, okay, I'm willing to tolerate this inconvenience. I'm willing to compromise on these conveniences so as to have this piece of happiness, this piece of stability.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the biggest thing that comes off in a marriage, in a union, even in friendship. All right, the hero of the story is not love.
It's not love, because
the hero of the story is not love.
Love is not there.
Love would not be sufficient. Love would not be sufficient.
So when I took it to my family, the question of tribe also did not actually come up. With my family,
that's something that remarked me though.
Yeah. With my family, it's a little bit different. We are more open and not strict on the tribe. Basically, I had an advantage because all my siblings, they married outside, like different tribes. Nobody married from Bayangi. So it was easier for me. Nobody asked me that, where is he from, which tribe? No. Rather, the question I was asked by my brother several times is, can he take care of you? What does he do for a living? Does he have a job? And
are you happy
with him? Yeah. Because we don't want you coming back to us crying and stuff like that. They just wanted to be sure that the man they're going to hand their daughter to is somebody that can protect her, take care of her. And I found that solace in him, and to them that was enough.
When you bring a woman and you say you're interested in marrying this woman, one thing that they'll always do is background checks. They are always going to do background checks. So either my grandfather, the father, some aunties or uncles, they'll go out to your village or where you grew up, ask questions about your character traits of people in the family, health history.
Yeah.
Are there stories of people going mad in your family? And also, they also find out details even up to how do people die? Like about death.
Is there some mystery?
Exactly. If there's any iota of mysticism about how people have been dying, they always close those off. So it also adds back to the reason why you'd always find this challenge, this unwillingness to accept women or men from other tribes, is because it's going to be difficult for them to do that background check. And that difficulty is always one of the reasons why they're always like, you know what, just look for somebody around here, somebody we can deal with, somebody we can easily go to. But even at that, we also have stories of families within the same tribe
The same tribe who do not actually want you to marry from another family in that same tribe.
So the question really has to go into it's not about the tribe or the family, it's about the person.
Because
it's really about the person.
You're marrying the person. You can actually miss out on a very great life partner if you focus on the issue of tribe alone. Because at the end of the day, the family, sometimes they even insist maybe rejecting your choice of a spouse because they want to see how much resilient you are. Can you fight? Can you push?
Thank you very much for this. One thing that I want to say, I want to point out is most families don't reject your spouse on basis of tribe because they don't like the person or they don't like it's actually out of love in most cases. They are looking at they are weighing the options of convenience and inconvenience, and they are like, this union you're about to get into will be more inconveniencing to you and to us than it will be convenient. So it's not really always about the fact that they don't like people.
That person,
It's actually out of love, out of excess of concern that they are going to bring opposition. They're going to be like, no, we don't want this, we don't want. It's actually because they really love you and they think that what you're about to do is a mistake. So what wins at the end of the day,
your persistence
will be your persistence on what makes you happy. You should go for what makes you happy.
And you have to show them that this is what you want. It's not about acting up character. Just be you. Because at the end of the day, if you act up character, it will be revealed in one way or the other. You're going to find out. So guys, that's it. There's a lot to talk about on this particular topic, but we do not want to make this particular video too long. It might bore you. So there's going to be a part 2 of this video, and in that part 2, we are going to share other experiences.
We are looking forward to inviting some other couples.
We will actually feature some couples that we know. We will equally share their experience.
With marrying from different tribes. So if you want to share your experience,
hit us up.
We're going to leave a WhatsApp number on the description of this video. You could write us on WhatsApp and you do a small video and you share. We're going to direct you exactly on what to how we want you to share the story. And in the next video, also part 2, would be talking about the realities of living together
with someone from a different tribe.
With somebody from a different tribe.
Two backgrounds coming together to live in the same house. I remember someone once told me when we got married, the person kept saying, I don't know how na the couple Bayangi and Awing Akum. Now I know because I beg it was strong. So it's difficult. We will not refuse that, but we are going to share a lot of that.
Living with another person that's not your family member is
not easy. It's difficult. So we're going to share. So we're going to share our reality in the next in part 2 of this video, and how we actually manage to make sure that we continue living together.
So for those of you who've watched up to this point and you're waiting forward to part 2, please do like the video, leave a comment and share.
If you've not subscribed, we have over 1,000 people watching our videos.
We have over 95% of our viewers who are not subscribed. So
what
guys,
are you doing?
Please subscribe to the channel so when the next video drops, you'll be the very, very first to get the notification. So when you subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bell
so you can get
you don't miss out on anything. So until next time, guys, watch out for part 2. We'll be bringing part 2 of this video on our very next publication. Till then.